selling access to the divine is not a new business model. It is ancient. Long before Enlightenment came with retreat packages, airport transfers, and Himalayan view rooms, religion already had vendors, middlemen, holy marketplaces, and preferred seating near salvation. Jesus saw it clearly when he entered the temple in Jerusalem and overturned the tables of the money changers. It was not merely a dramatic interior design choice. It was a protest against turning the sacred into commerce, against making the house of prayer into a marketplace, against placing a cash register between the human heart and God. And yet, here we go again. Today, detachment, vairagya, and sannyas have become, in some places, a commercial enterprise. Renunciation has a website. Non-attachment has a payment plan. Enlightenment comes with early bird pricing. The old monk walked away from possessions. The new seeker books a luxury simplicity retreat and asks if the silence includes Wi-Fi. Rishikesh, once the imagined sanctuary of sages, pilgrims, and seekers sitting by the Ganga, now sometimes resembles a spiritual resort town. There are yoga cafes, detox menus, boutique ashrams, sound baths, kundalini intensives, and workshops promising to dissolve the ego by Sunday afternoon. The pilgrim arrives with longing. The tourist arrives with a camera. The influencer arrives with a tripod. By evening, all three are posting the same sunset and calling it transcendence. It's easy to laugh, and we should. Humor is a form of mercy. There's something wonderfully absurd about selling desirelessness. Let go of attachment, says the brochure. Non-refundable deposit required. Transcend the ego, says the guru. Premium seating available. Discover that the self is beyond all possessions, says the website, beside a shopping cart icon. And by the way, the Chopra meditation app is available at deepakchopra.com. One must confess this immediately before overturning anyone else's table. The money changers are ancient, but the affiliate links are modern. If Jesus walked into the temple today, he might still flip the tables, but first he would have to decline cookies, close the newsletter pop-up, and choose whether to accept location tracking for a more personalized salvation experience. Let us therefore proceed with humility. It is very easy to criticize the commercialization of spirituality while maintaining a beautifully optimized landing page for transcendence. The ego is subtle. It can wear sackcloth, saffron, yoga pants, or a premium brand identity. It can renounce the world and still ask, but how is my conversion rate? Still, the warning remains. The sacred becomes corrupted when the symbol replaces the truth, when the teacher becomes the product, when the ashram becomes a brand, when pilgrimage becomes lifestyle tourism, when liberation is treated like an experience to be purchased rather than a reality to be recognized. Jesus overturned the tables because the temple had forgotten its purpose. The same danger exists wherever spirituality is packaged too neatly. The ashram, the church, the mosque, the synagogue, the monastery, the yoga center, the meditation app, including mine, and the online satsang, all face the same temptation to sell the doorway and forget the open sky. And yet, if we must compare industries, selling enlightenment is still preferable to selling instruments of mechanized death. A commercial guru may overcharge for bliss, but an arms dealer profits from bodies being torn apart. One sells incense, mantras, cushions, and occasionally a suspiciously expensive cosmic activation. The other sells bombs, missiles, drones, and the machinery of genocide, all politely named defense. Or these days, of course, no hang-ups, the Department of War. If humanity insists on commerce, let us at least commercialize peace before we commercialize mass murder. Let there be too many meditation retreats rather than too many missile factories. Let people spend foolishly on mantras instead of nations spending obscenely on weapons. Better 1,000 overpriced sound baths than one battlefield filled with children. The problem then is not that money touches religion. In embodied life, money touches almost everything. Teachers need food, ashrams need roofs, temples need maintenance, app developers apparently also need food. Though in Silicon Valley, this usually means matcha, seed rounds, and something called community, sangha. The issue is subtler. Does money serve the sacred, or does the sacred serve money? That is the question Jesus asked with his hands by flipping the tables. That is the question every spiritual institution must ask. Is this a place, a bridge to the divine, or a toll booth? Is the teacher pointing beyond themselves, or building a throne? Is the guru pointing beyond themselves, or building a throne? Is the seeker being invited into freedom or enrolled into dependency? Is the teaching dissolving ego or simply decorating it in saffron and adding a subscription tier? True vairagya cannot be bought. True sannyas cannot be performed. Detachment is not a robe, a brand, a retreat, an aesthetic, or a 7-day free trial. It is the quiet freedom of no longer needing the world to complete what is already whole. It is not indifference to life, it is intimacy without possession. It is participation without addiction. It is love without the contract of mind. Rishikesh may change. Pilgrimage towns may become resorts. Gurus may live stream. Seekers may arrive with luggage full of spiritual expectations. Money changers may always find their way back into the temple because the human mind is endlessly creative in monetizing mystery. But the river still flows. The Ganga is not impressed by branding. God is not hidden behind a paywall. The self is not available only in the platinum tier. And the divine, despite centuries of priests, merchants, gurus, institutions, entrepreneurs, and meditation app developers trying to manage access, remains scandalously free. The divine remains scandalously free. Perhaps that is why the tables must be overturned again and again, not only in temples, but in our own minds. The real marketplace is inside us. We are always trying to bargain with the divine. I will meditate if you give me peace. I will renounce if you give me status. I will be spiritual if you make me special. But the divine does not negotiate. It simply waits for us to stop selling ourselves illusions. And when the last table falls, what remains is silence. Not commercial silence, not branded silence, not luxury retreat silence with herbal tea and a mountain view, just silence. And of course, if you need help getting started, the Chopra meditation app is available at deepakchopra.com. Namaste. And please remember to like, subscribe, and surrender the ego. Tattvamasi.